Hello and welcome to Total Health with Dr. Nick, where my purpose is to inspire, empower, and motivate you to live longer, healthier, more abundant lives. And today I've got a great recipe for you. Many of you have been asking about Keto Cloud Bread, so I'm going to show you how to make that today. And you'll find that it's very easy to make, it's very versatile, but there are some tricks to it, because if you don't get some of the tricks right, it's going to mess it up. But I'll go over those with you today, so you're going to be an absolute pro at making this. And the great thing about Keto Cloud Bread is it's virtually got no carbs. I mean, this stuff is amazing. You could use it for sandwiches, you can use it for toast. If you want to make, I don't know, grilled cheese, you could do that if you're into the cheese thing. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So let's show you the ingredients in this recipe here. So we have 3 eggs, 3 ounces of cream cheese, cream of tartar, salt, and garlic powder. That's it. So I'm going to start off by cracking the eggs and separating them. I have 2 different bowls. One's a larger bowl and one's smaller. I'm going to put the egg whites in a smaller bowl and the egg yolks in a larger bowl, and I'll explain to you why I'm doing that in a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and start separating these out. What I like to do is I like to break the egg on the side of the counter, not actually in the bowl. When you break it on the edge of the bowl, you're going to shatter the egg and actually knock some of the particles of the egg into the eggs as you're separating them. So I would rather do it this way, to where I separate it right on the side. All you're going to then do is put your fingers right between in the middle here, and then as you open it, you should have a nice edge, just like that, a nice sharp edge, but yet it's rounded and not pointy. And all you do is just basically spoon the egg from one side to the other. So the reason I'm putting the yolks in the larger bowl and the whites in the smaller bowl is because as you're whipping up the whites, you're going to then fold them into the yolks, and it's much easier to do if you've got a larger bowl to fold them into. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the eggs here. Once again, you have to be very careful not to get any of the yolk in with the whites. If you get any of the yolk in with the whites, what happens is the fat from the yolk is not going to allow the whites to stiffen up, and you're not going to be able to whip them. So it's critical that you keep it separate. If you get any of it in it, it's not going to work. That's the trick. All right, there's another yolk. Once again. Also, it helps to make sure that the eggs are room temperature. If the eggs are room temperature, a whole lot easier to work with, and they'll whip up much faster. And that's it. So now we've got 2 separate bowls. One has the whites, one has the yolks. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to add the cream of tartar and the salt to the whites, start to whip them up, and get them nice and foamy. So I'm going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And because my teaspoon really only goes to about 1/4, like most people's, I'm going to add actually just a little less. And then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that's it. So now with the hand mixer, we'll go ahead and start blending this up. And you want to whip it up so that the peaks get nice and high and stay firm. So as you can see, that's whipped up beautifully. It should be able to turn over and not fall out. That's really what you're looking for. You could actually turn it over. So that's whipped up beautifully, and like I said, if you get any yolk in there, it's not going to be able to whip up. So you want to make sure you're really careful about that. So now what I'm going to do is move this to the side. So now I'm going to go ahead and start blending up the 3 egg yolks and the cream cheese together until they're nice and smooth. And like, you could use a hand mixer for this, you could do it by hand with a whisk. Either or works. I may switch to the mixer if it doesn't blend up nicely, but we'll see. So as you can see, that blended up nicely just by using the whisk, but once again, if you want to use a hand mixer so that way it's faster, you can go ahead and do that. So now all I'm going to do with a rubber spatula is actually fold the whites into the yolks little by little, Just spoon some in. You want to be careful not to put it in too quickly, otherwise you're going to break the whites and it's actually going to start to flatten out. So we're just going to put this in there and fold it in nicely. Adding in a little bit at a time, gently folding it. And what I mean by folding it, you're just gently spooning it around. You're not whipping it too hard because, like I said, what's going to happen is if you whip it too fast, actually what you're going to do is break the whites down. So all I'm doing is very gently folding it, just like this. Add some more of the remainder of the whites to it. And just keep folding it in. And so now that the egg yolks and whites are folded in, I'm now going to spoon them out on some parchment paper that I put already on a baking pan. So here's the baking pan I have. And like I said, all I've done is put some parchment paper on it already, just like that. This will fit 6, so I'm going to put 1 in each corner and 2 in the middle. And they'll spread out beautifully. If you put them too close, obviously, just like cookies, they're going to stick together. But this is perfect size for this. And this makes 6 cloud breads, basically, so when you put them together, you'll have 3 sandwiches out of this. All right, so I have a spoon here that I'm going to use. It's basically like a small ladle that I'm just going to spoon these out onto here. So all I'm going to do at this point is spoon them out, spread them around a little bit. And then as I find as needed, if I have extra, I'm going to add more to each one. But what I do is first put a ladle full of each, just to make sure they're getting equally distributed. And then I'll add more at the end. And this is looking perfect. Or if you want smaller ones, I could probably make 8 out of this instead of just the 6. And then I would have, of course, 4 cloud breads. So I'm just going to keep adding a little more to each one. And you can use the bottom of the spatula to spread them around more. Just like so. A little bit more of that one. That one looks a little smaller. There you go. Just like that. 6 equal size, and they'll end up making 3 cloud breads. So I've already preheated the oven to 300 degrees, and they'll go in for 25 minutes. But before I do that, I'm going to season them a little bit. And you can do this or not. I prefer to do it. I put a little bit of garlic powder on top. Gives it a little bit of extra kick. So sprinkle some of that. Not too much. You don't want it to be garlic bread. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you're Italian. So we're going to sprinkle some on each one. Just like that. And there you have it. Okay, Keto Cloud Bread, they're going to go in the oven, as I said, for 25 minutes at 300 degrees. So obviously preheat your oven in advance. And we'll check these out in just a little while. Come on back. Don't go away. All right, here it is. Don't those look beautiful? We're going to get a close-up of this so you can see exactly how gorgeous this looks. Okay, look at how beautiful golden brown these are. These are absolutely perfect. And like I said, what I'm going to let them do is cool just for a little while, then I'm going to start taking them off and separating them out. But that is exactly the way you want it to look. Check the firmness of them. That is perfect. It was in there about 20-25 minutes. And you know, different ovens vary. You may want to check on it. It may be less or maybe more in your oven, depending on how your oven holds its temperature. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and separate these out now. All you have to do is very simply is just pick up the edge of the parchment paper and then peel it right off. That simple. So there you have it. Keto Cloud Bread. Look at how beautiful that is. And all you do is just put it together. You've got a perfect little bun. You want to use it for a hamburger. You want to use it for grilled cheese. You want to use it for really anything you want. Make a sandwich out of it. In fact, in some upcoming episodes, I'm going to be using it to make sandwiches so you can see exactly how to use these. And I'll tell you what, you're going to love them. It's light, it's fluffy. It's not going to have the density of your Italian breads or your French breads, things like that. It's not going to be like a baguette or a ciabatta bread, but it's beautiful. You're going to love it. It's a great addition to your keto diet. Let me know what you guys think. Try them out. Once again, guys, thanks so much for watching my show. I really love and appreciate you. Thanks so much for allowing me to help influence your health. As I said, I'm trying to help you live longer and healthier and more abundant lives. So anyway, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. And also, too, check out some of these other videos right over here. Once again, guys, thanks so much. I appreciate you for watching me today. God bless. Have a great day. Bye-bye.